Hello, everyone, and welcome. Hello, hello. If you are here for the launch party of Dynamic Women Leadership Secrets, you are in the right place. I am Diane Rolston. I'm your host today, and I'm excited to have you all come together for this amazing launch party. I see so many faces from our authors. I'm happy to have you here to be a supporter of the authors, of your friends. And in a moment, I'm going to jump into our presentation. I just ask a little bit of housekeeping here. If you wouldn't mind staying muted until the appropriate time to unmute, and we'd love to see you on camera. So if you have a camera and you can jump on camera, that's awesome. If that doesn't work for you, no problem, totally understand. So let's get us started today because it is such an amazing event. And I'm really glad that not only you came, but the authors came. And I know a lot of them are busy and not all of them could make it today, but it's important that we celebrate this experience, celebrate the publishing of this book of Leadership Secrets. It's actually Dynamic Women Leadership Secrets. The reason being that is a community I created back in 2013. And if you know any of these authors, I'm sure you know that they are dynamic women. You agree? Yes? Just want to make sure if you can see my screen and see it fine and no problems, give me a thumbs up or a head nod, something like that. Amazing. So we are going to be together for the next 2 hours or so. If you need to jump off, I completely understand, but we'd love for you to stay for the whole time. And one little cookie we're going to give you for that is I'm going to be doing 4 draws today to give you a prize. So you want to stick around if you want prizes. But, it's not just about celebrating the book, right? It's about celebrating these amazing 36 authors, 36 women who came together to share their stories, their secrets, their tips on leadership. And so tonight they're going to be sharing more with you. And over the course of the night, we're going to do a few things. We're going to celebrate the book, of course. Yes. We're going to have our authors introduce themselves. We're also going to have author panels. We're going to have 2 of those, also moderated by authors, which is really cool. As I said, there's going to be prizes. You get a chance to win one of the 4 books in the Dynamic Women's Secret series. You also get an opportunity to get the first chance at copies of this book. And we're going to do something called waterfall sharing, which don't worry, I'm going to explain what it is in a moment. And no, it does not mean you have to get on camera or dive into a waterfall. And at the end, so that's the first 90 minutes. At the end, we're going to do 30 minutes of networking. If you're like, wait a second, I'm just this author's friend, neighbor, mom, sister, brother, husband, supporter, whatever it may be, and you're like, I don't do networking, no problem. At that point, you get to jump off if that is best for you. So let me talk about the waterfall. So when you see the waterfall sharing, that means that there's going to be a chance for you to share something, the answer to a question. So if everyone right now can locate the chat box, I'm going to open mine. I see you've already got it lit up. It's already happening. So a waterfall chat is going to be when you say the answer to the question, it's going to all at the same time, it's going to go all the way down. Okay, it's kind of a fun thing considering we can't be in the same room. It gives a little bit of energy. So when you see the waterfall, that's when you're going to pop it in. But first, what's the question? Where are you from? We're starting out real simple here. So don't hit enter, don't hit send, don't hit return, whatever is on your keyboard. What you're going to just do is type it in. Where are you from? And in a moment, I'm going to click the next button to show the waterfall, and they're all going to fly in. Is everybody ready? Give me a nod. It's not a long answer. This is where you're from, not your whole bio. 3, 2, 1, drop it in. Drop it in. Whoa, we got Barrie, Port Coquitlam, Toronto, Oakville, Nanaimo, Mississauga, New York, New York. Well, you didn't say it was both of those places, but Maple Ridge, born in Uruguay, live in Las Vegas. Those are very different places. We got some Me Too's on New York, Halifax. Wow, amazing. You have just done your very first waterfall, maybe, or at least your first waterfall of tonight. There's going to be some more of those. So welcome everyone. My name is Diane Rolston. I am, I guess, the publisher of this book, the fourth in the series. And it is just my absolute joy to be able to bring together such an amazing group of leaders who have given you their stories and secrets. Now, I'll just come out of here for a moment and just share a little bit more from the heart, be able to see a few more of you here that I kept meeting women who would say, "Oh, I'm not an author. Oh, I haven't been in business long enough. Oh, no one wants to hear from me. Who would ever pay me to write a book?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding? The story you told me is amazing. Hearing your bio, hearing you answer questions, hearing you teach things, these are all so amazing. Why don't you have a book out there?" And so after putting out my own book, Dynamic You, The 9 Pillars of Being a Dynamic Woman, I thought, this isn't as hard as it may seem. And I wanted to use my platform to give the voices of these incredible women I keep meeting a place to share. And so I'll share a little bit more first about our series. So back in 2013, as I shared, we started the Dynamic Women community. And from that birthed the first book, Success Secrets, then Confidence Secrets, then Trailblazer Secrets, and why you're here today is Leadership Secrets. Now, if any of our authors or any of the people supporting here today have been an author in the other books, why don't you type in the chat? You don't have to wait for the waterfall. Type in the chat Success Secrets or Confidence Secrets or Trailblazer. If you've been part of all of them, just put all of them. It is amazing that not only did you jump in that first time, but then you decided, I'm gonna get in on another book, on another book, on another book. And so I will pull out from my copy of the book a little bit more about the series. So I'm going to read little bits from this so you feel like maybe you're in a library or you're at a book signing by an author. And while we can't be here today in the same room, I want you to give you a little bit of that vibe. So each title dives into a core truth about who we are and who we are becoming. These books are proof about what happens when women come together. They're the blueprint for what's possible when we share openly, support fiercely, and lead boldly. And I saw that in every piece that I read. If we look through Success, Confidence, and Trailblazer, same as the books that are up here, you are successful not just in business, but in life. That's what was shared in the first one. You are confident not because you never doubt, because we all do, right? But because you keep showing up anyhow. And you're a trailblazer not because you followed a path, but because you made one. And you're a leader not because of a title, but because of your impact. And I know that the authors in this book, Leadership Secrets, have definitely been making an impact in not only their lives, but impact in other people's lives. And now it's going to be the impact in the people's lives who read this book. Okay, now while it says, actually, first of all, isn't that great? A big shout out to Carissa and all the authors who have been part of Chris who put this together, and then Christine who put the book together, and all the authors who are part of this. So it says send me a DM to order. However, what we're going to do today is in the chat, if you do have someone, an author who you'd like to buy your copy from directly, please private message them. Okay. But if you live far away, maybe it's easier for you to pick it up off of this link. So you were the very first people to be able to purchase this book. What's going to happen is it's not taking you to an Amazon page. It's not taking you to another place because on Amazon, it is $5 more than these prices here. Now, I'm not going to be doing a big sales for this right now, but I know that if you're here, you're wanting to support the author that brought you here, or maybe it's me, who knows? And so you have the chance now. My team will put the direct link into the chat if you'd like to go and purchase one or many copies. You can use your phone take a picture of the QR code and you can grab your book. Now, if you're like, I want to get more books and donate a book to another woman, books will be donated to women in shelters so that as they're leaving or if they need inspiration, that they will have a book in hand. So if that's something that's on your heart and you would like to do that, you can just please put in there instead of the address, you can put in, please donate to someone else, or you can put in your address and then send us a little note in the chat. We have 2 team members here today to support you. Please don't message me. Oh, look at that. Balloons from my team. Christine and Carissa will support you in the chat. If you forget their names, it comes up as support. So don't worry about it. So this is your chance to get your copy, but as I said, you can always private message the author that brought you here today to get your signed or autographed copy directly from them. And when you go in, you will see the opportunity to get the book and then to get the past book. So if you want the whole bundle, you just get the one book and then you add on the bundle, okay? Or if you just want one of the other ones, the option is there as well. Let's continue. So there are so many amazing authors. You've heard that. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again tonight. But who are you here to support? We're going to do a waterfall in a moment. Prep yourselves. Type the name of the person you're here to support. Authors, you just sit back because you don't need to write your own name in there. I hope you're here to support yourself. Okay. So everyone in the chat, please write the names of the people, the name or names, because I know we have a lot of CAPS members, Canadian Association of Professional Speakers. We have some W North members in here. So if there's multiple people that you're supporting, put all of their names in here. So are you ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Go, go, go. Go, go, go. I'm going to look at it. Holy cow. So many names. That's awesome. That is so, oh, my mom. Barb, your daughter's here. That's amazing. So good. All your CAP friends, David, I know you can't type that fast. There's a lot of CAPS friends in here. Thank you for being here. And I just want to say as well, while the book is called Dynamic Women and our authors are women, I want you to know that this is a friendly place for all our male allies. Thank you for being here. David, I know you're one of the greatest allies of all people. And so anyone else, any other guys here, you're so welcome. Thank you for coming. Bigger welcome for coming. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So what now, you ask? Well, let's see where our agenda takes us. So we started off with 2 shares. Let's get to the next. Oh, a draw. Isn't that exciting? A draw. Okay. So I'm going to invite right now, Christine is going to be putting together the wheel of names. Now, the way that you win is by being here. That's not very hard, right? The first book that we're going to give away is Success Secrets. Now, while she's just making sure that she can have time to put all of that together, what I am going to do is I am going to read the dedication at the front of the book. And as long as later on, if you want to be part of the other 3 draws, all you need to do is be here. That's it. Just have to be here. If you leave, then your name comes out. That's just to be fair to those who are here. So let me read the dedication of this book. This book is dedicated to all the dynamic women out there and those who raise them, the ones who go for it, and even when others say they can't, the ones who give a hand up when they're asked, the ones who ask for help, guidance, and whatever they need, the ones who are fearless on the outside yet fearful inside, the ones who choose to change and those forced to change, the ones who are awarded and those who silently excel, the ones who lead the way and those who support them, the ones who blaze a trail, speak up, and don't take crap, the ones who listen openly, cry hard, and love unconditionally, the ones who know they're dynamic, and those who don't realize it yet, the ones who are you. So all of the ladies here are dynamic women, guys, you're probably dynamic men. So that's our dedication. I'm going to have Christine pull up our wheel of names right now and choose a winner if she's ready. If she's ready, I'm going to look at the chat until she pulls that up because I know it's a job and I know some of you just jumped in right now. So she's probably just adding those last names. Here we go. I'll do a little drum roll. Christine, you can spin it. This is for a Success Secrets book. If you're here, you could win. Who's our winner? Winnie! Congratulations, Winnie. If you could please go into the chat, private message Christine support with your mailing address and phone number so we can make sure that you get that copy. Actually, I'll be sending that copy direct from my home, so I will autograph that for you. Amazing. So good. Just kind of looking at the chat, we have a lot of congratulations. I love it. Thank you for being so kind to congratulate other people. So let's keep going. We've got our draw. We did it. We did the dedication. Okay. Over the course of the night, you are going to hear introductions from different authors. This is what they're going to tell you. They're going to tell you their name, their title, their business name, if they have a business name. If they don't want to tell you that because they're at a company and they want to say that, they're going to share that. And basically the other two things they're going to share, which I think are kind of really interesting for us, is why did they want to join the book? Why? And a little teaser about their piece. They're not going to read their piece. They're not going to tell you the magic secret or message in their piece. They're going to give you a teaser. And so in a moment, we are going to have the following four ladies. If they are here, they can raise their virtual hand. We're going to spotlight them. We're going to have them come up. And if they're not here, I am going to introduce them. Okay, so I see Karen is here. We'll have her spotlighted. I'll stop sharing. Hello, Karen. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
I'm Karen Coble. This is Karen Coble. LOL.
Hi.
Hi. I am the owner of Kalina Movement Studio in North Vancouver, British Columbia, and we do movement, meditation, mindfulness practice, community events, all things community and connection over here.
Good. And how did you want to be part of the book and a teaser about your piece?
Yeah. So I love sharing what has helped me through sort of the hustle and bustle of being a business owner and life in general, but especially as a business owner and a leader of staff and many other events and that kind of thing. So I was super excited when Diane asked if I would do a chapter on that, and I guess a little teaser about my chapter would be that it doesn't have to be all hustle.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It doesn't have to be all hustle.
So important. Well, thank you, Karen, so much for being here. I know you have to run off. You're in your studio right now, but you have to run off and teach a bunch of classes. Yeah, amazing.
3 more to go. And y'all were fantastic. And it was so nice to be here for a little bit. Oh, hi, Jackie.
Okay, thanks so much, Karen. I'll let you head off to your classes. And so let me just share a little bit about the other ladies who were part of, and I understand that there was some black squares on the screen. Yeah, no one said anything before when it said, did it look good? But no problem. How's it look now? Better. Yeah, it's when you share the sound on the video. That's why it happened. Okay, I'm gonna just read a little bit about the titles from these different ladies here. So we have Allison first, Allison Moniz. Her title is Your Energy is Your Edge, the Untold Secret of High Impact Leadership. That's a really cool. They're all really cool. I've read them all. Amy Culler has Leadership Begins at Home, a call to men. So, for the men in the group, you might want to steal your wife's copy or get your own copy to be hearing that. And we'll jump over to Faith's. Faith's is, and she is a CAPS member, Canadian Association of Professional Speakers, Leadership in the Face of Physical Illness. So what I really love is that we're covering so much ground with all the different pieces, which is really important because it's not just about CEO leadership, it's about leadership in all different areas of life. So let's dive in now. This one might take you a little bit longer to write. We don't need it to be a waterfall. What do you hope to get out of being here? What do you hope to get out of being here? Like, why did you come? Yeah, I get you're supporting your friend. But what do you hope to get out of being here? I'll share what I hope for you. My goal is that you're going to be inspired by something one of the women says. I'm hoping that you'll be motivated by maybe a tip or a trick or hearing a story of like, wow, they did that. They got past that. And my hope is you'll be activated, meaning you'll get into action and you'll be like, whoa, okay, I'm gonna go do that, reach that goal or go do that thing because of something someone said today or because of a tip that or a strategy that will help to move you forward. Let me have a look at the chat. Tell me now, what are you wanting? Why are you here? This is your intention for your time. Leslie says, I love the stories, Sharon's inspiration, lots of inspiration. The authors even are saying connecting with others. So they're excited to meet you, audience members. Michelle supporting wonderful ladies and learning from others. Susan connecting with energetic and forward thinking people. Jane learning from others. Catherine learn about the stories and journeys that the authors have taken. Leanne getting over my fear of success. I know I can contribute so much but I'm always afraid of the actual success. But the women here are my absolute inspiration. And, I'm just going to speak to that for a second. I know that a lot of the women in here, one, were terrified to write their own piece. Were terrified then to submit their piece to me and the editor. Were terrified to tell other people that they wrote a book. And we're even in the chat before everyone else got on. We're saying, is anyone else afraid of this? Is anyone scared of tonight? So I want you to know that we don't just do things without any fear. We just do it anyway. We take a big gulp and we do it anyway. And that's why the beauty of the support of the group. So we have Winnie says inspiration and tips to be a better person. Janelle, that's a cool spelling. Insight, inspiration. I hope I don't butcher anyone's name. Diana, I'd like to hear your stories. Thank you for being here, Diana. She's actually one of the virtual assistants from my VA Made Easy program, and she's here supporting Barb, right? Her lovely client. Candy, inspiration and presence. David, all three would be awesome. Deeper appreciation for my CAPS friends, as well as here some cool authors. Jennifer, info ideas to take back to my workplace admin and students. Amazing. Grab many copies of the book to pass out to them. Insights into potential reaches and applications of the lessons. Oh, I could go on and on and on and on. Amazing. Audience members, if you weren't here, it would be a very different party. So thank you for being here. I hope that the thing that you wrote in the chat is going to be what you actually get out of our time together. So keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind as we go through. Okay. Now I want to do a very special thanks. One from me, the biggest one from me, but I know it's also from our collective group of authors. Paula Kent is our editor. She has edited this book and previous books. The thought that she puts into each piece is phenomenal. the things that she comes to me with, and the level of care that she puts into reading over each piece and editing each piece, I truly appreciate. And it gives me the confidence to put out a book when I don't feel like I'm the greatest writer. I feel like I'm a better speaker most of the time. To Carissa and Christine, I'll do each of them individually. They are my, I feel like they need a very special title, above and beyond virtual assistant. They have been with me over 4 years. They are absolutely incredible women and people on my team. So Carissa was in charge of all the social media posts, uh, all the promo, all the different things that you saw that had your author invite you here. So email copies and banners and images and stories and that amazing video we just watched and probably a million other things. But I feel like I'd have to give myself the hook to get off of here if I continued on. But there's so many things on the visual side. Christine, she's the one who sat with me, not literally, virtually, created the cover, formatted the book, connected with the authors, got all the pieces we needed, added in all the headshots. She's also the one that helped with the emails. So if you got emails, whether you liked getting a lot or not, you're here. And she's the one that put all that together. So thank you, big, big thank you to Christine and Carissa for all your support. I couldn't have put out 6 books by now or been in like 8 other books if it wasn't for both of you. And I have a special message from Paula. She is unwell. She can't be here today. She says, I feel incredibly privileged to have the opportunity to read and edit everyone's contributions. The diversity of stories and the insightful observations about leadership powerfully highlight what it truly means to be a leader. This book emphasizes the importance of authenticity and genuine care, exemplifying every author's deep passion for people. I want to thank every author for sharing their leadership spirit, journey, and the golden nuggets which have shaped and refined them into the amazing women they are today. Whew, that's so good. I think I might have to put this in that into the book in the next version. That's incredible. Thank you so much, Paula, for that message and for supporting us to get this book out. So, are you a dynamic leader? This is probably one of the last things I'm going to share before we dive into panels. First, let me share with you, though, you may be thinking, where's this whole dynamic women thing come from? You're saying it so many times. What's going on? Well, back in 2013, when I went back in after my daughter was born and I went into networking, I thought, boy, is this surface level networking. And I wanted to have a deeper connection to others, even though we were business networking. And I decided at that point I can either be bitter about it or I can do something about it. And so I created the Dynamic Women community, but I didn't know what to call the community. And the word dynamic came forward, but also the word confidence did. But I think with the word confidence, a lot of people say, I am or I'm not confident. I was born confident or I wasn't. I became confident or I'm not. But dynamic was like, I don't know, maybe I am, maybe I'm not. And when I asked at the start of launch of every location, I heard people, when I asked them what's dynamic mean to you, they would give me the total opposites. Someone who's creative, someone who's analytical, someone who's a great listener, someone who's a great speaker. And I think, wow, this one word encompasses so many different pieces. So in the book, I talk a little bit more about being dynamic, and then I go into being a dynamic leader. So the truth about dynamic leadership is that leadership isn't about a title, a corner office, or how many people report to you. Leadership doesn't look just one way, and thank goodness for that. For too long, we've been fed a narrow version of leadership, assertive, demanding, polished, corporate, but that's not the whole picture, especially if you know the authors here today, right? They all have a different leadership story. You don't have to raise your voice to be heard. A dynamic woman can lead with humor, with softness, with fire, with collaboration, with intuition, with strategy, with all of it. But the question is, will we welcome it? So dynamic women don't wait to be called leaders. They lead by how they live in the good and the bad. They lead with their energy, even when they're having an off day. They lead in their families, with their friends, and even with those they don't know. They lead by how they show up, even how they follow. They lead on stage, and even when no one is watching. She often leads without even knowing it, by being the example others silently watch. That's the kind of leadership that changes things. And so that's the type of leadership that this book talks about. It's that different kind of dynamic leadership. And that's kind of how what I talk about in my piece, and then is really backed up and shown in that variety by so many others. So let's get some more intros. A reminder to our authors that we're just going to do 3 lines, 3 sentences. Reason being, there's so many of us. And we want to have time for the 2 panels, the 3 prizes, as well as the networking at the end. So here we go. If you're here, you can raise your virtual hand. We're going to spotlight you right now. Gigi, Carol, Janine, and Jenny. So I'll come off of here. There we go. Carol, you can start us off.
Oh, okay, you found me. Excellent. So happy to be here. Hi, everybody. I'm Carol Serby, business coach and founder of Carol Serby Coaching and Consulting and the Scalable CEO Academy. I joined Leadership Secrets because I wanted to help leaders shift out of overwhelm and into a more empowered way of leading. My chapter, the Teeter-Totter Leadership, is about finding balance, trusting your team, and finally stepping into the visionary role your business has been waiting for. So I'm really excited to be here on this launch party today. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hey, thanks, Carol. Gigi, go ahead.
Hi there, Gigi Blair. I am owner, founder, and executive coach of Gigi Blair Coaching and Consulting. And I wanted to be in this book for one reason. Diane, is actually the title, and that connects to my number 3. Many of my clients deal with complexity during the day and complexity when they go home. And so where does their peace and their rest come from? And that's a secret, though, that many of them don't share with anyone else. So I wanted to put this out there in the larger platform. It's okay. We can talk about this.
Amazing. So good. So, all the audience members, is this teasing you to be like, I need to get the book because Carol and Gigi have already said what they talk about? Well, you just wait. Jenny's got a third one for you, and that's also as equally amazing.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jenny Riley, and I run a business consulting and executive coaching practice based in Vancouver. I contributed to this book because leadership today, the demands quite a focus, like a greater focus than we've ever had to have before, and deliberate action. Yet too many leaders that I work with are always caught in a very reactive cycle. So in my piece, which is called Lead Like You Mean It, 5 moves every leader needs to make, I share 5 actionable leadership moves to help you elevate clarity, drive performance, and create meaningful impact across both your professional and personal life. So I hope you get a copy. Thanks so much.
Good. So good. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Gigi, and thank you, Carol. I know what's in your pieces. And so, yeah, we will drop the link in there again. Christine or Chris, if you can pop the link in there again so people can get their copy of this book. Or if Carol, Jenny, or Gigi are your friend, direct message them to get a book from them. Okay. So we'll pull you off of Spotlight. I think I have another group. I don't know if we're doing 2 groups here. I don't have it memorized. There we go. We have another amazing 4. And as we have them coming up, I will read Janine. So we have Sandra, Stacy, Stephanie, and Tanya. I already know that Stephanie is in Italy right now. And so if you were here to support her, that's why she's not here. So as we are having, if you were one of those authors, please raise your virtual hand so we can easily spotlight you. And while we're waiting on that, I will let you know about Janine Baker's title is The 5% Shift to Meet This Moment. So that's a big teaser. You're not gonna know until you read her piece. Great, Sandra's here. I'll just go to Stephanie's piece because I know that she is unable to be here because she's on a plane right now to Italy. See, our leaders of this book are movers and shakers, and some of them are sitting in their homes right now with their PJs on their bottoms. Stephanie's Well, because we're up top, we're business. Okay, Stephanie, her piece is called The Bake Framework, B-A-K-E, Bake, crafting inclusive workplaces for great leaders. Okay, here we go. We've got Sandra and Tanya. Sandra, kick us off.
Okay, I'm Sandra King Lee, or sometimes called Dr. Sandra, but I really just like Sandra. I'm a coach. I'm an retired Army veteran, and I'm a former teacher. And I found that this topic of leadership just called to me. And when I saw the call to be part of this, I couldn't say no. And I'm glad I did. So, the title of my section is called The Leader Within, and or Leadership Within. And I believe that everybody has to go inside and find that leader, especially if women particularly say, I'm not a leader. So this was calling me based on experiences I had with others, and I look forward to getting the book and reading my chapter. Thanks.
Yay. Well, I look forward to having everyone read your chapter. Let's hear from Tanya. Hey, hey.
Hey, hello everybody. It's so great to be here. I'm so honored to be in a book with I mean, these are pretty incredible women, like one after another. It's like, wow. And then the next, like, holy. And so at this moment, I do truly feel honored to be part of it. So my name is Tanya Steele, and I'm a safety trainer and a speaker. I'm on a mission to improve people's daily quality of life, especially on Mondays. Why Mondays, you ask? Well, research shows that more workplace injuries occur on that day than any other work day. And that's why it's so important to have safety programs and leadership that is easy to understand and things that are easy to do. And so I work with owners, managers, supervisors, joint committee members to ensure that leadership is effective and that people actually learn. And so we want it to stick so that we can send people home safe with all of their fingers and toes. And because I'm a trainer, and as a leader, I owned a company. I had 30 staff at one time, and 30 part-time staff, 6 full-time staff. And there was this one secret that I learned in leadership to really be able to communicate effectively that changed my world. And that little key skill and secret I have shared in the book, and it is the first time that I have shared that little secret.
Oh boy. Well, I know what it is, and you're going to want to know what Tanya's secret is, what Sandra's secret is. And the easiest way to do that is just pick up your copy of the book. Well, thank you to both of you authors for being here. Thank you for sharing more about yourselves. So exciting, isn't it? I also need to share Stacy's title. Give me one moment. And I know I have a list, but I'm kind of enjoying opening it up. Stacy Moore says that her title is The Collaboration Cure, Building a Culture Map for High Performing Teams. So it's not just about leading yourself, it's about leading teams, right? Or not just leading a few people, but leading bigger teams. So that's really great that we have that diversity there. And for some of you, you're like, wait, well, what does it look like in the book? Let me just show you a little sneak peek. There's Stacy's piece. So the way that we've imagined this to be is a spread. Okay, some authors might have more than 2 pages. They might have 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. But there's one message, one main message. And the easiest way for you to consume the book, one, you could sit down and power through it. And great, go ahead, do that over a weekend by the pool, especially with summer coming up. But I encourage you, another way to do this is to actually open it, go to the first one or pick one, read it, pull out what's the key, what's that main message, then read the author's bio. Go check out, we've got links in there to websites or social media. Go connect with them. Go read up about them on their websites or whatever links that they have shared so that you can learn more about the person behind the piece. Makes sense? And then don't just stop there. implement the thing that they said. And if you're like, but they're talking about teams or they're talking about being a CEO or something, it doesn't relate. I'm sure you can figure out a way to put it into practice, even if you're leading a Girl Guides group or your family, right? There's some way that you can apply something that they have shared. Let's keep going. It's a draw time. This is exciting. What are we drawing this time? Oh, it's group photo while we get ready for it. So in a moment, we are going to be doing a draw for confidence secrets. And the reason why I do the photo thing in there, because my team knows I just forget to do the photo. So I'm going to come off of Spotlight. If you could come onto camera, that would be amazing. And this is my chance to actually see all of your beautiful faces. I see Carol and Susan and Wendy and Lewis and who else that I don't know? Winnie's iPad. Hi, Winnie's iPad. So great to see you all. So in a moment, we're going to do a photo. Carissa's going to do it for us. And so we're going to just smile. Okay, you ready for that? Smile. 3, 2, 1. Okay, she's taking a few, I think. Now we're going to move to page 2. I think we have 2 pages, right? So she's going to click through to page 2. There's so many of you. Amazing. And now I see Sharon and Leslie and Kelly. Oh, Kelly was my neighbor yesterday or last week at a mastermind. I'm so good. Okay, now we're going to do the second screen. You ready, Carissa? I'm smiling. Everyone's smiling. David, Carrie, 3, 2, 1. Okay, amazing. Thank you very much for that. We love to honor the people who come and to share the excitement of who is here. And so now we do the draw. Christine, for confidence secrets, like make it happen. Okay. Who's our winner? Gastadan, is that how you say it? Amazing. So good. So make sure that you send Christine a private message with your address. Okay, let's keep it going because we're going to be moving into some panels here in a moment. But if you need to grab your copy of the book because you haven't yet, or many copies, or you want to get another copy to donate to a woman coming out of a shelter or in a shelter, then please do so here. If you're here supporting an author, please DM them, private message them, and just say, hey, how do I get a book from you? For authors that are wondering, where's my link to give to these people? It's wherever you want it to be. It's your landing page or your checkout or your email or your invoice or whatever you want to do. Okay. Otherwise, everyone is welcome to use this link. All authors will get credit for it, and they will find out who bought the book through this link. You can also buy any of them. So now is time for a panel. We have Barb, one of our authors, who is going to moderate this panel. So if you can just raise your hand, Barb, Angie, Megan, and Karen, so that we can easily spotlight you. This is going to be a great panel. And the panel is on authenticity and influence, finding your leadership voice. So we're going to welcome all of those up. Here they come. Amazing. And just waiting on Megan. There she is. I see the wave. I'll add the spotlight in, and I'm going to drop off. Have fun, Barb.
Thank you. Okay, so we are going to look at authenticity and influence, finding your leadership voice on this panel. And I'm your panel moderator. I'm Barb Stillemer. I'm a business strategist, and my business is Blitz Business Success. And I'm in this book mainly because Diane, a highly respected, at least I highly respect her, and I know the people who know her or know of her highly respect her, leader. And I just want to be around great leaders like Diane. And the nice thing is, when I came out and got to meet many of the people that are here today, I'm going, wow, this has been a group of really wonderful leaders. So this has been a really lovely experience for me. My book piece was really around, because I'm a business leader. I know that business owners feel like they have to control everything. And you don't even have to be a business owner to think that. You might think that you have to control everything, but if you have people around you that are willing to do that work, that are willing to step up and be a leader, you can make some really big differences in your business, like go on vacation and not worry while you're gone, or hey, maybe growth in your business. So my section is called Great Leaders Don't Just Sit at the Top. So let's introduce and get to know our other panelists. So Angie, why don't you start first?
Okay, well, I'm Angie Schmitz, and I work as an admin team lead in a global consulting firm, but I'm also a culture consultant and trainer through my personal business, Effective Perspective. And it's an honor to be part of this group because of my passion to help others, when in fact, they were the ones that helped me. And I'm truly grateful for that. My piece highlights a leadership style that has potential benefits that are not fully recognized. Over to you, Barb.
Yeah, I'm Megan.
My name is Megan Symington. I'm a marketing launch strategist and consultant. I work with businesses for helping them for startups as well as launches that they're putting together. My piece is about building conscious connections, and I've given 4 tips for building a roadmap to those relationships. And I really feel honored to be a part of this book, because that's exactly it, is having those conscious.
Go ahead. Okay.
Okay, I'm not
Sorry,
sure who
we'll
else
just
is
mute
talking
that
now.
person.
Thank you. And Karen.
Hi, everyone. I'm Karen Ta, and my day job includes working as a corporate trainer at an organization called PricewaterhouseCoopers, focusing on leadership development. But I'm also a certified coach, and I have a passion for helping those who feel invisible become more visible so that they can break through doors and ceilings. And the reason why I'm part of this book is partly because it's been on a bucket list of mine to be an author since I was a teen. So now it honestly feels like a dream to be here. And the other reason is I don't see many Asian Canadian women as authors. And it felt like it was important to overcome my imposter syndrome of not feeling like, I belong here, and be part of that author group, and also being a role model to my 2 daughters to showcase that, hey, you can dream something big and eventually it'll come true. And my piece focuses on that specifically, creating a sense of belonging. And research has shown that, once employees feel like they belong, it creates a greater sense of engagement, lowers retention. And I'm writing from the perspective of being a founder of an inclusion network or employee resource group for East Asians and Southeast Asians, and what the power of a community can do like that to create a sense of belonging that has a cultural change that's really powerful.
Awesome. Awesome. And of course you do belong, Karen. So, and you all belong. Thank you for sharing. Those are really interesting components. I can't wait to read the book myself. I don't have a copy. We get a copy today. Yay. Okay, so we have a few questions we're going to ask of each of you then. So how do you balance being authentic to yourself while being a leader in different situations and different audiences? Why don't we go backwards this time? So Karen, why don't you start?
That's a tough question. I think that, again, being an Asian Canadian woman, I have to be honest and vulnerable at this point, and I feel like it's a bit of a tightrope. Sometimes, the authentic side of me feels like I have to be quiet and respectful to those that are more senior or elders in the room. And sometimes I feel like, no, I have something to say, and so I'm going to speak up. So it's a fine balance of being brave enough to overcome that cultural, I guess, upbringing, to feel like I have something important to say as a leader.
I love that. I'm so glad you're stepping up then, because there's a lot of people that need that. All right, Angie, why don't you go next?
Well, being authentic, given in any situation, is to be basically true to my core values. My values mean a lot to me, and I would like to know that, I feel that my actions and decisions are aligned with them. Often my inside voice comes out when I see that something's not right or someone's not being treated right. So authenticity is really important to me. It builds trust, and also knowing who my audience is and understanding how to communicate to that audience to get the message through is the key to authenticity, by still staying true to my values. So no matter what situation I'm in, I'm hoping that I'm remaining consistent in authenticity.
Oh, I love that, Angie. And I relate completely with that, with the values component. I teach that at the college when I'm teaching entrepreneurship. We always start with values because it's a driving factor for how we make decisions. So I love that.
Mhm.
Okay, and Megan.
I really think that, being authentic to yourself is, just like Angie had said, owning your values and where you're kind of, setting forward for your business and who you want to attract in your life. I really think that, when you're creating relationships around yourself, it's really important to kind of capture those 5 people that are going to inspire you to be greater. Whether it's from, your core, whether it's from being a parent or being a business owner, what is going to kind of strive you forward, where you can set an example, like Karen said, for your children, but also for your community where you can be of service.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so next question. What tips do you have for leaders who are suffering from the internal voice that questions whether you belong in the leadership space? And I know Karen's got a really good, because she's already kind of pointed at that. So I'm going to save you for last, Karen, and this time we'll start with Megan.
Sorry, can you say the question just one more time?
Sure. What tips do you have for leaders who are suffering from the internal voice that questions whether you belong in a leadership space?
Oh, I think we all question ourselves, and I think at any stage in our career, and I think always to remind ourselves that, every step is the first step in a new direction, and that we're learning from those steps, and there's always something to be taken away. So it might not be the most perfect first step, but you could probably learn a lot and take a lot away from that.
I love it. Okay, and Angie.
Well, growing up, I was that shy girl standing in the distance, pretending to be invisible and just closing my eyes saying, "Don't pick me, don't pick me." But unfortunately, I've been voluntold several times to be in leadership positions. And some may not agree with the statement I'm going to make, but leaders are not born or trained. Leaders evolve. And I really believe in that. Everyone evolves in every position that they're in. And through that, to make it work, we need to learn the techniques. We need to find the resources that provide the expertise, mentorship, and everything you need to do to grow as a leader. And as the years go by, you'll become more comfortable by being your natural self, because it takes time and hard work. And really, leadership is an art form. Like, there's no one size fits all.
I love it. That's a great answer. And Karen, how do we fit in? How do we fit into our leadership spaces?
I feel like Megan and Angie have such great responses. I would say, there's many times I haven't felt like I fit in. Obviously, even, in this 4 squares, like I feel like a little bit stuck out, to be honest. But I think that internal voice also will tell you, like, maybe there's a cheerleader out there for me. And so I've been lucky enough to have kind of a personal accountability board to kind of just run things by, whether it's by best friends or where it's close colleagues at work, to see like, hey, can I just run something by you? About to say something. Does it resonate? Does it not? To almost have that little safe space of, small group of like cheerleaders or personal advisory board or whatever you might call it, to run that by, to just kind of get a sense like, hey, like, does this make sense? And that kind of gives me some confidence, feel like, yeah, I belong at this table. I have a voice and it matters and it's going to land and it's going to stick. So find yourself that, group of cheerleaders.
I love that. That's great. And that's why we're all here, that we want to be part of a group of cheerleaders. So we only have a couple minutes, so I would like you to do this fairly quickly, and then we got a rapid fire. But I want to ask this question because my daughter and her friends are here, and they are young women, and I want them to hear what you have to say about how can we identify and develop women leaders around us. So Angie, why don't you start this time?
Well, for myself, as a privileged white woman, I need to really show up as an ally for women in the BIPOC community. Wherever you go, when you see a woman accomplishing and wants to move in her career, sponsor her by talking about her, raise her up to leadership and keep people in the organization. Again, being a mentor, and then teach them how to feel comfortable, because one of the things as women, we don't talk much about ourselves, and to self-advocate for ourselves like men do and feel comfortable about it. And lastly, those daughters and nieces and young women around us, lift them up so that they have the confidence they need to know that they've got it, and use it and speak up.
I love it. I love it. Karen.
I totally resonate with what Angie said about mentorship, and even more so importantly is sponsorship. Find that woman or women that you want to invest in, and whether it's your time or money or resources, find something to invest in them, and that might put them a little bit in their outside of their comfort zone. But I think that's a way to stretch them. I know that I've done that with my team members, and a couple of my team members I see online will attest to that. But also, again, my kids, and so sometimes it's a little bit pushing themselves outside their comfort zone, but making sure that they feel supported and empowered along the way.
I love it. I love it. And Megan, last word in this.
It's funny because I just had this conversation today. I have a 12-year-old and a 14-year-old, and just talking to another mother in the same position. I really think that, being a problem solver is probably one of the biggest things, but being a problem solver within your community, Angie kind of spoke to that about our privilege. So when we do see others that we can help, how can we pitch in? But I also think that one big thing that's really missed is that internal dialogue and how we talk to ourselves, and just reminding ourselves when we have that negative thing that's said out there, how do you reverse that and almost put a note, a post-it note on your mirror to tell you that dialogue's not always the best message, and it's not, your North Star. Your North Star is positivity.
I love it. These are great answers. Okay, this is a rapid fire. So one word that describes your leadership style. Oh, how about I start? I got you guys know what to do, right? Okay, so I'm going to say transitional.
Integrity.
Thank you.
I would say
Collaborative. Oh, sorry, Megan.
We're the same, right? Engagement and collaborative.
Yeah, collaborative.
Oh, you had the same word and you shared it at the same time.
And we said it almost at the same time.
I love it. I love it. Thank you so much for sharing your insights into leadership.
Thank you. See ya.
So good. I'm going to join you on here now. Amazing. Thank you so much, Barb, for moderating the panel and for being an author in the book. Angie, Megan, Karen, such amazing points that you all gave. And for those of you listening, did any of you learn at least one new thing? Put a yes in the chat. How many of you at least heard or were reminded of one thing? Put a yes in the chat. You see all the yeses coming in? Yes, 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 yes. Amazing. Now is the time, though. Yes is not enough. These authors, these panelists would love to hear, what's your biggest takeaway? What is your biggest takeaway that you have from that panel? What is it? Is it something that Karen said? Something Angie, Megan, Barb? If you don't remember who said it, it's okay. Just put whatever it is. So stop being afraid and go get it, says Leanne. Jeanette says collaborative mentorship. Wendy, willingness to speak your desired truth, and all of them. Candy, more collaboration will help us all grow. Lee, stay true to yourself and find your support group. Yeah. Find your board, right? Your personal board. Barb, sponsor or mentor upcoming leaders. Kelly, I love the spirit of collaboration and community, having a support group. And so if you're wanting to be a leader, just save the chat, the little 3 buttons, the downward arrow, save the chat, keep saving as we go on through the night, because you're going to want to grab these little nuggets. Because if someone else has said it, based on what the panelists said or the authors have said, you want to see, in your own life, how is that true for you? Okay. Let's keep it going. Just got to pull this up here. There we go. So we did our biggest takeaway. What's next? We're going to hear from some more authors. We have Joe, Deb, Nicole, and Nenka. If you are here, please raise your virtual hand so that we can make sure that we spotlight you. And just to kind of speed us along a little bit, we're also going to add another 4, Nikki, Rochelle, Rosemary, and Sally. Now, as we're kind of getting everybody up, make sure raise your virtual hand and we'll spotlight you, bring you up. You're going to introduce yourselves. Remember that the way you're going to introduce yourselves, and I'll just go back again so my team can see all of the names. When you introduce yourself, you're going to do 3 sentences, basically your name, your business, your title, anything you want to share there. And then what had you say yes to being part of this book, and a little teaser about your piece in the book. And the cool thing is, this time we not only have authors from the US and authors from Canada, but do you know we have authors from the Netherlands, Australia, South Africa, the UK, and the Philippines. So this is a global, international book. And that's why some of our authors aren't here right now, because they're sleeping. So I'm going to have Deb and then Rosemary introduce themselves.
Well, thank you so much, Diane. This has been absolutely spectacular. My name is Deb McFadden. I am from Connecticut, right outside of New York City in the United States. And I am an author, I'm a speaker, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer. But most of all, I'm an advocate for women. I want to elevate women. I want to put women in positions where they have opportunities to be successful. Because when a woman is in charge of a project, involved with a group, what happens is there's more collaboration, better results, less confrontation, and the end product, whether you're in government, business, nonprofits, it doesn't matter. The outcome is always a little bit better when you have women in leadership roles. And so I'm excited to be part of this book. My component of the book is the power of numbers. So I've had, you're going to be surprised, but 40 plus years in politics. And so I'm taking the lessons I've learned in the political world, and I'm showing how those lessons can be applied in your personal life, in business, whether your business is little and you're a solopreneur or you're working in a corporation. It can be applied everywhere. And so that's what I'd like to contribute. And thank you so much, Diane, for being the host and the publisher and creating this incredible group of women together to bring these conversations forward.
You're very welcome. That's why I keep doing it, because it is an incredible group of women. Let's jump over to Rosemary. Hi, Rosemary.
Hi, thank you. I'm Rosemary Oliver. I'm based in Toronto, and I work currently with the Canadian Civil Liberties Association. I'm a fundraiser, and I've been a professional fundraiser for 40 years. I'm in the book mainly because Diane invited me to be part of the book, and it seemed like an incredible opportunity to collaborate with a bunch of amazing women. And I've just been so amazed by the ability you all have to share your wisdom in these small nuggets tonight. And I'm sure in the book, I haven't read the whole book yet, but I'm really excited to be part of this overall project. And my piece is about, I never really wanted to be a leader. I was one of those young women that thought, other people should be leaders and I'm just going to be part of the team. And I was kind of thrust into a role with Greenpeace where I had to lead for the first time officially. And I really had to sort of figure out how to do that in a way that worked with who I was and the kind of leader that I wanted to be. So that's what my piece is about, and the things I've learned in 40 years of leadership since then. So thank you, Diane, for the first invitation to be part of this. And yeah, it feels really incredible. And I'm grateful to all of you who've been part of this book. It seems really amazing.
So good. Thank you, Rosemary. So think about it. You get the book, you get 80 years of experience just from Deb and Rosemary. Then you tag on all the decades of experience from the rest of us. This is huge. You will never live that many lifetimes or get that much knowledge except in one single book. So again, we'll drop the link in there so that you are able to pick up your copy of the book. Thank you, Deb and Rosemary, for introducing yourselves. And if this has inspired you, you've said, well, I want to get invited to be in the book. Will you invite me? I do have a form to show your interest to being in the book. You know, we'll see. We've done 4. Do I stop here? Do I do another book? I don't know. I haven't decided the theme or any part of it yet. But why don't we open the door to say that if you are interested, if you'd like to raise your hand. So the Be an Author form is hanging out in there. There is an investment to join in the book, and that's because Christine and Carissa and getting this done is not a free experience, right? And so, but don't worry, it is a completely done for you experience and book. We do everything. We do the promo for you. We throw the launch party for you. I won't get into the weeds, but I just wanted to let you know a little bit more about it. So let me share a little bit from the authors who couldn't be here this evening that were on that list. We have, if I can remember, oh, this is the first time also that we have put in myths debunked. I thought it would be kind of fun to think, oh, well, what are the myths that we are hearing about all the time that we like they are not the truth. They are a lie. And so I asked 5 authors to debunk myths. And so I will pull those up now and you'll hear about what those myths are and who debunked them. So Jo is debunking the myth, a good leader always has the answers. So in her piece, she tells you why they don't always have the answers or why that's not true. We also have Carissa and Christine, who you've heard are on my team. They also put a piece in this book. Carissa's piece is the debunking the myth, you have to be an extrovert to be a good leader. So for those introverts, there is hope, right? She writes about that. We can't all be extroverts. My gosh, the world would be a noisy place. Christine, her myth that she debunks is being nice makes you a weak leader. Oh, that's a good one. Ninka, she's from the Netherlands, and we had Jo is from England. Real leaders don't show personality. And you know, when I met her in Bali at the Global Speaker Summit, boy, did she have a ton of personality, and I loved it. And that's why I was like, you need to be in this book. And then Sally from Australia, her myth is assertive women are aggressive. Anyone sick of that one? I'm sick of that one. Okay, there we go. I think I've covered everyone. Let me just go back and double check because we're almost at the point where we are going to have our next panel. Let me just double check. We got Jo. Oh, Nicole. Let me read Nicole's. And the cool thing about Nicole is she's also an ICF certified coach. So we're both part of the International Coaching Federation. That's how I met her. She's I think the immediate past president. And Nicole's piece is called Coach Like Leadership. That makes sense, right? She's a coach. Coach Like Leadership, the secret to thriving teams. Amazing. And let me make sure I covered everyone on the next slide. Rochelle. Rochelle's piece, and she is in the States as well. And Rochelle is speaking about, are you the leader of your financial life? Because she's a financial advisor, so that's a really good topic to include. And then we have Nikki Bush, who is from South Africa. And so I also met her at the Global Speakers Summit, and her piece is called The #1 Leadership Lesson, Play the Attention Game. So you'll want to find out what the attention game is by reading the piece and reading the book from all of these amazing authors. We're going to skip this for now and we're going to save it. Let's do another draw. This is for the third book in the series, the Trailblazer Secrets. Trailblazer Secrets. If, as we're getting that set up, if you need to pick up your copy, there's the QR code. We'll also drop it into the chat. If you're like, Diane, I've seen you say this on the screen 5 different times. Well, that's because I'm noticing people coming in and people coming out, and I want to make sure everyone who is arriving, so if we haven't welcomed you yet, welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting the author that has invited you. And if you, right now, if you want to just drop in the chat, who invited you? If you haven't done that yet, if you've already done it, don't worry. The reason is we want to make sure that we know who came through who, especially for when you buy the book, so that we can let that author know. You can also buy all the books. There's over 160 authors in total, I think it is, from all of the different books. So let's do the draw. Here we go. And if you're like, why are you doing a draw for the past books? Well, it's part of the series. And I also like to give stage time to past authors and their works as well. Here we go. Dun, da, da. Diana! Now, Diana, as we know, is here supporting Barb. And so maybe we'll talk to Diana. Maybe she wants Barb's book instead. Yeah, probably. Yeah, we'll get Diana Barb's book. That makes more sense that she has a copy of that. That's amazing. And Diana's in the Philippines, so we'll have to test how long it takes to get there. And so if you are in another location and you think, oh, I'm not going to order it from there, no problem. You know, it is on Amazon, but just please know it is $5 more, right? Because we're encouraging you to buy through us. We now have the lovely chance of having another panel. We have Candy, Jackie, Catherine, and Laura. I'm going to ask that all of you raise your hand so that we can tag you. And the topic of this is, if I can read it, leading through challenge and creating change. And so, oh, look at how quick you were up there. Amazing. Candy is our amazing moderator and one of our authors. So as we go through, she's also going to share her ideas. And I love the color combo that you all decided on today. Amazing. Have fun. I'm going to drop off now.
We definitely collaborated on the color combo.
Yes,
for
we
sure,
planned.
right?
It was planned. Yes, totally planned.
So thank you so much for being here. My name is Candy Motzek, and I am so pleased to be just doing the moderating for this panel. I'm looking forward to hearing your answers and to learning from you. And also just a huge thank you to Diane for hosting this launch party and to all of the amazing authors. So pleased to learn from all of you. I am not going to start with my introduction. I'm going to ask you ladies to start with your introduction. Do you know what to do? Laura, do you want me to give you the idea? Laura, can you tell us a little bit about you?
Sure. I'm Laura Richards. I'm a narcissistic abuse recovery expert, and I'm the host of the That's Where I'm At podcast. I wanted to be part of this book because narcissists are everywhere, and I wanted to help leaders learn how to deal with them. And so my teaser of my book is that I give you 3 steps for dealing with narcissistic people when you're a leader and how to keep your integrity as you deal with them.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Jackie, I have seen you. You clap for everybody. You are the cheerleader, and I love it. Could you introduce yourself as well?
Hey y'all, I'm Jackie Rougeau. I'm in my lakefront property here in Lacklahash, BC, Canada. I'm a nomad, an adventurer, traveler. I'm also a coach, speaker, and cheerleader. Good call, Candy. For women ready to lead boldly in their second chapter of life. I jumped into the book because I know the power of rising strong and wanting other women to know that they can do the same. And my piece is real. It's a raw look at bouncing back after loss, leading with love and always some sass, and finding your fire again, no matter what age. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Catherine, what about you?
Yeah, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us today. And thank you, Diane, for bringing us all together. I'm really grateful for these new connections. I'm Catherine Johnston. I'm the founder and executive director of Global Minds. That's Minds with a Z. And I provide leadership development and coaching worldwide. I must admit, I became a part of this book mostly out of curiosity, wanting to get back into writing. And as I enter the last decade of my career, I want to give back. So I love supporting leaders and entrepreneurs to be their best. I hate seeing them struggle and looking for direction and finding a path because there's no recipe. So the outcome is I created this boss and buddy concept as a framework to balance between the two roles, right? Which is a playbook in a sense. And it's based on a leadership book I wrote some years ago with Lisa. So that's where I am at. Thank you.
Wonderful. Oh, that's so great. And I love this, entering the last decade of your career and wanting to really give back and support the people who are coming forward. That's wonderful. So let me introduce myself. My name's Candy Motzek, and I am a leadership coach as well as a business coach for high achievers. And I'm also the host of the top podcast called She Coaches. Coaches, yeah, it's a mouthful. I'm excited to be part of this book because that word secrets, like it's really easy for people in leadership to pretend like they have it all together. But I really like that idea of we all get to share that behind the scenes, we all have self-doubt, we all experience imposter syndrome, we all have good days and bad days. And that really spoke to me as well. And then the piece that I wrote, it's just the wake-up call. It is so important for us to have that collaboration and the engagement and the support of mentors and leaders who bring us forward. But I wanted to remind us to lead from within as well, to look inside at what's going on with me and making sure that my leadership was aligned with who I am. So that's my bio. Now let's dive into the rest of the questions. So let's start with this. I'm reading the question just so you know. So what I'd love to hear is I'd love to hear a moment that you had to lead through a challenge. And what did that teach you about yourself and your leadership capacity? Catherine, can we go to you first? I would love to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, so anytime I get this question, it just gives me this sense of deja vu and one of the toughest personally and professionally difficult moments in my life, right? And like, what do they say? Like that doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So it was good. And it was life-changing for me. So I was a business change leader for the Coca-Cola company. I was leading a year-long SAP implementation project of 23 team members in 8 Nordic and Baltic countries with the same go live date. No one would ever do that today, but they did. And one of the things that I realized was like the critical importance of communicating, never enough hours in the day, but I did it. And how important it is to motivate others because I could not possibly do the work myself, right? So that's the thing. As a leader, you have to let go. You have to trust your team. You have to enable them. You have to motivate them. You have to communicate with them because you cannot possibly do it yourself. And so, and with a qualifier, this was before my 2 sons were born because I couldn't have managed it otherwise. But then I could and work like ridiculous hours. But that understanding of like communication and motivation was life-changing for me. So I realized I was more interested in people development rather than working with spreadsheets, which was finance and IT, which is my previous background. So I switched to consulting and leadership, and here I am 20 years later doing what I love. But that was a breaking point. Like it could have gone either way. It could have gone either way. And I became more people oriented rather than task oriented.
Yeah, I love that. Leaning into the thing that draws you the most, and that's probably your strength as well. That's great. Jackie, what about you?
When the company I had poured into 17 years of my life suddenly closed, it honestly felt like the rug had been pulled out from under me. I can still feel the emotions of it right now. I was grieving, disappointed, and heartbroken. But I still had people that were looking up to me for guidance. I wanted to honestly just crawl away and stay with my grief, but I knew I couldn't. And that moment taught me that leadership isn't always about having all the answers. It's about showing up anyway with honesty, grace, and grit. I realized I was stronger than I thought I was, and leading through a storm doesn't require a cape, just courage and heart.
That's wonderful. Oh,
Love
that was
that.
great. So touching.
Yeah.
Laura, what about you?
Well, I'm just thinking back to a community group that I used to lead, and how it just really goes along with what I talk about now with narcissists and with toxic people in general and difficult people, and how I would have people who really looked up to me and I was able to lead. And then I had someone who, as soon as everybody left the room, would come and like fight with me in certain ways where it wouldn't even seem believable when I would tell other people. And so what looking back, what it taught me was I did not have the skills that I needed for such a person. I was very meek, and even though I was having to lead, I was very meek. I thought it was my fault that they were treating me in that way. And so that's why I talk about this now and the way you can keep your integrity as you're dealing with difficult people, because it isn't usually about you. It's usually about their toxicity.
Yeah. I love how each of you, everything that you said sort of comes back to this. And I learned something more about me and how I showed up and grew through it. It's a wonderful through line. Let's go on to the next question. So what one change, and I think that focuses on that word one, what one change would you like to see made to help more women be leaders? Who wants to go first? Jackie, I can see your smile.
Well, Diane knows this one well from me. I love to see aging women celebrated, not sidelined. There's a belief out there that leadership and women as a whole have a like an expiry date. And yeah, no, women are 40, 50, 60 plus are often packed. Well, they are packed with wisdom and creativity and fire, but they're often overlooked. And so let's start spotting like shifting to spot the light on them. You're not too late. In fact, you're right on time. And we need to focus on like reinvention, not retirement. Like your life is not over. And I'm really here to lift people up and remind them of who they are.
That's so great. Laura, what about you? What would you say?
Yes, and I second that motion. I'm 58, started this new career at 56, and it's like, yes, I would love to see, what I wrote down was that I would love to see women in leadership be just commonplace, right? And that even as us, as we'll say, quote unquote, older women, right? As when older women are celebrated, like you were saying, Jackie, and it's more commonplace that women are in leadership, I think it sends that message to the young girls, right? And to those teens that are looking and going, oh, I can do that too, because women hold that place in leadership. I just would love to see it be more commonplace and not something that's just unusual. I just would love it to be more commonplace.
Yeah. Catherine.
So this is fascinating because when I initially had the question, I'm like, I don't have a lot to say about this. And now I do. So I have two comments, three. So I think it's a tough question. One of the things I've learned recently, I think it requires like to see more women be leaders, and I'm thinking from a young, like 25 to 45, I think we need systemic changes, right? There are some like structural problems when it comes to allowing women to be at their best and be visible and be promoted. So, like, when do you have your meetings? Well, after drop off at school and before pick up at school. Uh, are you flexible and you can do your 2 hours of work at 8 in the evening or 5 in the morning? Like, what works? So I think there's some systemic changes that, especially in certain industries like tech, finance, like a startup, I think there's some work to be done there. I love that. There's the Pay Transparency Act now in BC. I think that will help. There are intersectionality implications. So a Caucasian female versus a Black female or a female with disabilities, like the pay disparity or the promotion disparity increases exponentially. That is a systemic problem. And it's also access to opportunity. So I'm like very, very passionate about that. And based on what Jackie and Laura have said, I'm like all in on that. And one of the things now when I mentor or coach younger women is to say, what is most important for you now in the phase of life you are? And using myself as example, I had children very late in life. So I like that crazy project I did for Coke with the countries and all of that before kids, thank God. Then I had children. I was so grateful. So I really focused on them. My son just got his driver's license. He's going to university. My other son is at university in the US. And my 5 years of caring for my aging mother, which took 20 hours a week, are over. So I feel like I am in like the brilliance of my third career. I don't know if you, Jackie and Laura, feel the same, but I'm like, oh my God, I have so many hours. Like I can build my business. So that's where I would say the risk of a company overlooking people, and whether they're like they had kids young or they had kids older, but like the risk of overlooking people between 45 and 65, that's a bad move because we have the capacity to really put it all in if we want.
Wow. Catherine, I loved how you summed that up too. I won't even say my opinion. It's all of the above and a little bit more. So let's wrap it up because we've got a limited time. We're going to wrap it up with this rapid fire question, and it's going to be like a bottom line. One quick sentence. What is your secret weapon for staying calm under pressure? Catherine, do you want to go first?
Yeah, deep breathing. Like exhale out 2 counts longer than inhale. 5 years ago, I would have said, look calm even when you don't feel it inside because everyone's looking to you. But that creates internal stress.
Yeah. Jackie.
Well, it's obvious. It's always for me, Mel Robbins' 5-second rule. I hands down, it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I take action before that fear takes over. It's my brain's cue to stop spiraling, stop thinking, and start leading, even when I'm sweating through it.
Excellent. I love it. Laura, take us home. What's yours?
Just do it afraid. I think there are those times, right? In that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, just do it afraid, because there's never a time that none of us are doing it like we're perfectly fine all the time. Just do it afraid. It's okay. That doesn't mean that it was the wrong choice. Just do it.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for sharing all of your wisdom with us. Really appreciate it. Diane, back to you.
Amazing
Candy.
job, Candy. Thank you, Jackie, Laura, and Catherine. But Candy, before you go, what's your answer to the rapid fire? Let's get that in.
I do this kind of lean back and take a breath and try to keep perspective. You know, most of those pressure situations, they're not that big of a deal in the real world.
So good. So good.
Diane, can I just give a quick shout out? to Candy, who like facilitated so well and kept us right on point on the 15 minutes. Like that was amazing.
I had my timer.
Yeah, well, you know, you're not just a podcaster for nothing, right?
Right.
It's amazing to see you all in this way as well as to read your pieces in the book. So as you're dropping off, I want to ask everybody, did you learn at least one new thing from one of these ladies? Yes, put a yes in the chat. Or are you reminded of something, at least one thing were you reminded of that one of them said? Put a yes in the chat. And then even more specifically, now that we have a yes, 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 all the way down, please actually write. What was the takeaway? What was that bit of insight? What is that thing that you're like, that was so good? Write it down. And again, save the chat so that you've got this. And this also another really great bit of feedback to all of our panelists to be able to see what everyone's saying. Okay, now I know I said 5 o'clock is networking, but we still have a few more of our authors to introduce. So we're going to dive into that now. I want to make sure everyone gets the spotlight, right? Gets the time. So right now you're putting your biggest takeaway in. We'll pop the link in there. Don't worry about that. We're going to dive into Joanne, Kathy, Kelly, and Kirsten. If you are here, now is the time to put your hand up so that we can highlight you. Okay. Oh, good. Kirsten's there. Okay. I'm going to go with you live. And Kelly, amazing. We'll start with Kelly. Let us know a little your name, business name, title, why you said yes, or what had you say yes to being part of the book, and a little teaser about your piece. Go ahead.
Sure, absolutely. I'm Kelly Penner Hutton. I'm a psychologist. I am an EMDR trainer. That's a specific type of therapy, and founder of two businesses, Peace of Mind Therapy and Consultation and Elevate EMDR Academy. So at Peace of Mind, I have a therapy clinic where 20 other therapists work and provide services, and I provide support to the therapists. And then with Elevate EMDR Academy, I'm also providing support to therapists, just in a different way, through training and through consultation to help them try on a new hat, a new therapy called EMDR, and be able to use that effectively with their clients. I joined this book partly because Diane asked, and it was such a generous offer, and also because I really believe in the power of women supporting women, right? And I wanted to share in what looked like it was something very meaningful. And so thank you, Diane, for inviting me.
You're welcome.
My piece is just about the messy, kind of magical moment where I stopped playing it safe and I started my own business, which was equally terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. And I started with a whole lot of heart, not a lot of business plan, trusted my instincts, and helped create a space that reflects my values and my vision.
Awesome. And you said a key word that takes us straight into Kirsten, which is play. So, Kirsten.
Thank you. I hope this sounds okay. I am in a restaurant in Victoria. My name is Kirsten Anderson. I am the founder of Integrate Play Solutions, and I am a fun facilitator, keynote speaker, and a leadership development trainer. I joined the book because I got the invitation, of course, but also because, you know what, there's a lot of books written by men, and we need more books out there written by women, and who hasn't been mentored or supported by a woman. So, of course, this is an opportunity to give back. And a sneak peek to my story is it is around someone who mentored me, and it was my mom, and just how being in the toy industry for 30 years as a leader, as an entrepreneur, business owner, influenced me and influences me to the day, and how it can impact you and how it can boost your bottom line in whatever work you do. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Kirsten, and thank you, Kelly. And for those of you who are like, how come she's in a cafe restaurant? Because she was training leaders all day. That's why, because in using play. So I'll just, as we kind of pull them off, I'll read out to you our last two authors, because I want to make sure everyone, you get to hear all their titles. So we have Joanne Marlowe, build a better culture by leading on purpose. And then we have Kathy Fester. And Kathy has been part of every single book, all 4 books. And she said, why wouldn't I be part of this? I was part of the other 3. There you go. And Kathy's is leadership as responsibility. So now you've heard all of our authors. And before we kind of dive into our networking, I'm just going to wrap up for those who want to stay but don't want to be part of networking. I'm just going to do kind of a little intro about what's happening and wrap us up properly. And so I'm just seeing what other things I have to show you. I think we're good. We'll do one final kind of drop in there of the link to get the book. Again, oh, Chris is already on it. A big thank you to Carissa and Christine, who were doing all the tech behind the scenes, because I can't manage everything all the time, all the things. So if they supported you, then I will thank them on behalf of you. Your author friend and all the other authors here are making a difference in the world. How? By sharing their secrets and their stories on leadership. This is the book, Leadership Secrets. 36 women are featured in here, either debunking myths or sharing their secrets and stories on leadership. We have a wide variety of women from different countries, from different ages, from different cultures, sharing different tips no matter where you are in your journey. So as a final, let's get in the chat. What is your final takeaway today? What is your final message to the authors or authors? What's your final thing that you want to say? Pop it in the chat now. So now is the time. If you have come to support someone and you don't want to be part of the networking, I appreciate you being here. Without an audience, we don't really have an event. And without readers, we don't really have authors, right? And so I encourage you to reach out to your author that invited you, share with them your key takeaway that you had. Also, reach out to them to get your copy of the book. Otherwise, you can use the link that we have provided. So as a thank you from all the authors, I appreciate you being here. To all my authors, congratulations. This is a momentous occasion. I hope that when you hold your copy of the book in your hands, that you really feel the impact that you are going to have on others, and that you for sure are so proud of yourself. That's why I do this. That's why it's important. And the lives we change are going to be so great through this book.